the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Dear Lord, be with us today as we deliberate this business of the county. Help us, Lord, to keep in mind your teachings and just do what's right, do the best thing we can, do the very best we can for the residents of Adams County. We ask all these things in the name of your son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, should have received the minutes from the October 14th meeting. Any questions or comments about that, those guys?
I had no additions or corrections, Stan.
Yeah, no, I'm fine. I'll make a motion to approve October 14th, 2025.
Second.
Stan with motion, Doug with a second. That motion passes. Pass those down here to get signed. Angie, what else have you got for us?
We have got the Allied weekly claim for health insurance, dated, 10/20/25. It has a credit of 54,227.08.
That's the number. What was that again?
A credit of 54,227.08.
Okay, got them out. Okay.
See if we can figure out what, and that's a credit, so they owe us money. Let me see here. Looks like we got a big stop loss reimbursement.
We need a motion to accept the money. Is that what we need?
We do. We need a motion.
I move that we accept the funds, which isn't a difficult motion.
Do we get that much from them?
They owe us that much, so it'll be a credit against our
I
account.
don't ever remember having to do that.
Yeah, that's an odd one, isn't it?
I'll second that motion.
That's why I made the motion. I wanted to go on record.
Motion by Doug, second by Stan. That motion passes. I'll sign here. I don't think we need any more signatures, Doug. You guys can take a look. Angie,
You
what
wanna
else have
look
you got
We've
for
got
us?
payroll time card approval for 10/10/25. Certifying that the attached time cards for appointed department heads were verified and correct.
So we're
Should
making
receive those in the email. Any questions or comments on those?
payroll approval is what we're motioning.
This is time cards.
Time
This is
cards.
just time cards.
Move we accept the record of time cards that we received.
I'll second that.
Doug with a motion, Stan with a second. That motion passes. What else have you got for us, Angie?
We have the animal control report dated October the 1st of this year. Cats, there were 6, dogs, there was 3, kittens were 7. It was a total mileage of 315 miles for a total of $220.50.
So this is for animals that were picked up out in the county and brought into the shelter, I'd say.
Yes.
So, any questions on that, guys? Now I'd entertain a motion to accept that report.
I don't remember. In the third column, it just says code. I forget what that code is for.
I don't know. Code S, code T. Maybe T is up a tree. I
And
don't
what's
know.
the dog and cat number again? I didn't get the 2 numbers.
The dog is 3 and cats were 6.
That's all, just those 2.
Kittens were
And
7.
kittens were 7.
No raccoons.
No raccoons, no puppies, no possums, no
No
other.
No deer, no wild bull.
Well, I don't know what the code is either, but I move we accept the report.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Okay, that motion passes.
We've got weights and measures monthly report from September the 16th to October the 15th. We have correct was 295. Rejected weights and measures was 12, for a grand total of 307 were checked.
I make a motion, we enter that report into record.
I'll second.
Stan with the motion, Doug with the second, that motion passes. Seems like a lot that didn't
A lot of-
pass. Did you
yeah,
guys?
More,
I
more
don't,
than
I don't
normal.
recall
Yeah.
that,
Of course, 8 of them are
fuel
gasoline. so
pumps that were
yeah.
out of tolerance. That's interesting.
I don't see how an LP gas cylinder, I don't know.
Cylinders.
Well, I
LP
wonder if
cylinders.
that's some of those self-serve cages that they have
Oh,
in front of
maybe.
Walmart. stuff
I didn't
like
think
that.
about that.
You know, they're supposed to be full when you pull them out of there.
Yeah. I'll be darned.
But if
I didn't
that's
even know we tested
15
those.
pounds instead of 20 or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, I wouldn't know. Anyway, good.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Okay, we have payroll claims now.
So this is the actual payroll.
This is the actual payroll. And the dollar amount on that is 387, 755, 86.
86. Okay, good.
That's Friday's payroll amount is 387, 755, 86 cents.
Make a motion, we approve. payroll.
I second Stan's motion.
So Stan with the motion, Doug with a second, that motion passes.
Okay, we have two resolutions today. The first one being 2025-5. And it is approving the appointment of members to the board of the Northeast Indiana Development Authority.
I don't know whether you guys saw that, but we were delinquent in getting that approved. I got an email from the Northeast Indiana
Regional.
Regional, yeah, and that's the board that Andrew Briggs is on, if I'm not mistaken. Is he one of
Yes,
the
the
What was
zoning
the other
members?
one that we're doing?
He's kind of our representative on that
Andrew
board.
and,
We've got James Kahn, Jeff Turner, Bob Marshall,
yeah,
Andrew Briggs, and Jean Daughtry.
Donnie,
Dottie,
yeah,
Yeah.
Dottie.
yeah. They're the same ones that's been on.
Yeah, the same ones it's been on. So I need a motion to approve that.
I moved
resolution.
that we accept the resolution. What was it, -5?
Yep,
something.
-5, yeah.
I'll second that.
Motion by Doug, second by Stan, that motion passes.
Is there a term of office, 1 year or 2 years?
Good question.
I don't know. I'll get the names later. I don't get all the names down. Write them down later.
I serves a 4-year term and may be reappointed.
They're all
So
4 years.
They serve 4-year terms. I believe they're all 4 years. Okay, so I think I'm the only one who needs to sign
Okay.
that. You guys can look it over now.
Okay. Then we have a resolution number 2025-6 for the Adams County Board of Commissioners amending Resolution 2022-3, establishing the Adams County Asset Management Plan.
2025-3,
2025-6.
6. Oh, okay.
Amending 2022-3.
20,
Yeah, yeah,
yes.
okay. And that's the one I brought over here.
Okay,
Yes.
so you want to talk us through that or?
Yep, we can go through it. State Board of Accounts wanted some minor changes to that policy as concerning how those assets are accounted for and certified by department heads.
You did mention that too. Really?
Really? Yep, about the only change is under section, let's see. It's under section 2, policies, paragraph C, annual reports. So we already had items 1, 2, and 3 in here, which is each department head be responsible for submitting an annual report to consist of the inventory of the assets of the respective department to the auditor of Adams County. That includes 12 months prior, which would be the assets purchased or acquired by the department during the previous 12 months having a value equal to or greater than $5,000. Disposal of any assets of the department and the amount of sale proceeds for the sale of assets and cost of repairs to any assets of the department. And we've added this one paragraph that says each department head shall certify that he or she has physically inspected any assets identified on any annual report. That's really the only addition. But that's something State Board of Accounts wanted. So other than that, it's in the same form. We just need a motion to approve this resolution. We'll get it signed 2025-6. And then we can send it to State Board of Accounts.
Do we need to let department heads know?
Yeah, I think what we want to do is have Tony send a copy of this new resolution out to all department heads. And I think we've got that annual report asset form, right?
Yes.
Okay, so on that particular form, send that to me and Clayton and we'll add language that says, the undersigned hereby certifies that they've done a physical inspection.
Cause they're probably not all doing that now.
I don't know. I mean, that's what they want, so. And it shouldn't be, some departments obviously are gonna be more difficult than others. But I think once you have that asset list in place, it should be relatively easy.
I wonder if there's a dollar amount,
$5,000 is what our capital
Yeah.
asset.
anything
number
over
is.
5.
Yeah, anything originally costing 5,000 or more then is tracked as an asset.
I know we talked about that in the IT committee at one time that, a lot of the laptops are below that.
Mhm.
So, cause I know Mike tracks those, he puts a tag on everything.
Yeah.
But like highway department, you've got vehicles and you've got equipment, and, sheriff's department, vehicles, equipment. And so, there's vehicle and equipment is generally, those are the departments that are gonna have it.
Yeah, so Brad, this change is probably I don't know that it's a change in your procedure, but basically it's asking you to certify that you visually inspected each one of those assets and they're still in the garage.
And
They
that's
haven't-
basically, there you go, that's kind of the change. Now I have to physically go out and, look at everyone.
Yeah,
That's,
so all you have to do is sign to certify that you've done that.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good, so it's really won't be much of a procedure change, just an
Because what that does is
affirmation.
State board would normally come over and they randomly pick a couple things and they would wanna see it.
Okay.
I think that takes the burden off of them and puts it on.
Yeah.
No,
You're
I
just
would-
saying, yeah.
I would say that's what they're doing, yes.
Yes.
Good.
Are we okay with that dollar amount?
Mhm.
That dollar amount is in our policy. That's,
Right,
that's
but I
what
mean,
we.
I guess I'm asking, are we okay
Yeah.
with that or do we want to track computers too?
Mike can continue to track computers. That's just the capital asset number that. Unfortunately, if you lower it much below that, then you start picking up other things that desks and chairs and
Chairs and
things that
desks.
we really don't want to have to inventory.
Okay,
Yeah, no, I mean, as it stands right now, that threshold is acceptable to State Board. I wouldn't make it more difficult than it
Yeah.
needs to be.
That being said, I move that we approve the 2025-6 is the resolution, correct?
Yep.
For
I'll
the
second.
asset management.
I'll second that.
Okay, that motion passes. That motion stands second. We do need to sign that, guys.
Yep, send it down. There you go. And then we can make some
I think I
copies.
have
So we've got one
I
here to
got it.
sign. Do
You
you
have it?
need more than
You
one?
need This one also.
I'd sign that one too.
Okay,
I'll
I'll
take
sign
it.
both of them.
I can give it to Brooke and she can scan it.
Second copy. Hey, and Chief, what else have we got for us?
We've got the sheriff's salary contract. For
We have to
Dan.
pay him?
Again?
That, I told Brooke, that goes to county council
Also.
and they approve it.
yes.
So
Okay.
I would hold off and have commissioners approve it after
After
council.
council approves it?
After
Okay,
council.
That's what we
Okay.
generally do. And I don't know that there's any, is there a change to it?
Budgeted.
It's budgeted already,
It's
so,
already
okay,
passed.
yeah. And they'll approve it, I'm sure. but-
Sure,
Okay, so we'll wait on
good
that.
deal.
Yep, that's just before the end of the year.
And the only other thing Tony wanted me to mention to the commissioners in the newspaper, that the November 12th meeting will be, that's a Wednesday, because we're closed on the 11th.
Better say.
So it's not next week's meeting, but the following.
Good,
So
great. So that meeting, we will not meet on Veterans Day, but we'll meet on the Wednesday following Veterans Day.
Correct.
Council
November
moving the
12th.
same. Is council moving theirs the same?
I would assume
Yes,
so. The
that's what
building,
we
the
have
building
on.
is closed that day, so I
Yeah.
would assume so.
Yeah. That's all I have.
Good job.
That's been signed
Okay,
appropriately.
perfect. Thank you.
Nate, what have you got for us this morning? Tearing roads up again.
Absolutely.
You know, I came across your 300 just on Sunday and I thought, oh, I wonder what we're gonna, the bump sign and the sign, yeah, I knew something was coming there.
Well, I'm glad we still had a bump sign when you went across it. I think, the Friday or Saturday after that, one of the bump signs grew legs and walked off, unfortunately. So we put a really heavy one out there, so hopefully it's not so easy to walk off next time. Hate to see it, but it happens, so. But yeah, that one is coming up and I'll actually mention that here on this list. But
Gotcha.
we'll start with Bridge 93. That's the one on Van Buren 000, just north of Monroe. Engineering Resources, Inc. has submitted their fee proposal for the preliminary engineering work under that grant. The fee proposal is actually below the budgeted amount, which is good to see that we had with NDOT. So I've submitted this to NDOT. We do need to have our agreements in place before the end of the year, so I am recommending approval on this contract. It uses the NDOT standard format, so there's really not much language that we can change other than the scope of work inside it and the dollar amount. The fee is a total of not to exceed of $253,890. And I got a typo on line B, but this will last the duration of the project development. So this actually is a multi-year agreement with Aegis BLM. With Engineering Resources, Inc. This was a former project, and it is a reimbursable grant of 80%. So 80% of that money that we're going to spend out is going to come back to the county. Once we sign this agreement, I'll scan this, send it to NDOT, and then NDOT is going to draft an agreement to us that will overlay on top of that. So that we'll use the terms and expenses in this to draft that agreement with the state.
Yeah.
So it costs to design the project $253,890, and then we'll get 80% of that reimbursed.
Correct. So, but they won't draft their agreement until we have the terms and conditions of this one in place. But it is below the budgeted amount that we have in our grant. So we're somewhere in the range of $20,000 under original estimate. So
Isn't that one of them they designed a few years ago?
we had done some design work with Aegis and had spent some money on it. I don't have the totals with me on what we had spent on that project, but based on the cost estimates and the design work, I wasn't satisfied with where we were going. The cost kept climbing. Certainly the cost of the project was there, and we had no funding mechanism to actually pay for the construction. So we would pursue the federal aid grant. It allowed us to program it and get some grant money to at least allow getting this project.
So what
In the ground.
what kind of a cost is the project itself?
The actual construction cost of the project, the early estimates had that as much as, I believe, $1.8 million in total construction cost. But that is based on some early estimates. I still think that we're gonna be under that amount when it's all said and
It's a
done.
pretty good sized bridge, isn't it?
Yeah,
Well, they had put the bridge too high, and then.
there was elevations with the bridge, there were some issues, there were some design elements that we weren't satisfied with as far as how they were expecting the work to be done. There was road realignment work that was added into it, so the amount of scope creep that was happening initially was getting out of hand, and there was no funding. It was gonna be 100% on the Q Bridge, out of the Q Bridge fund, so we couldn't absorb it, so that's where I pursued a federal aid grant to do it. We have built in some of that cost and inflation there's 6 years, 5-6 years of inflation baked into that number. So depending on what happens in the market, and if we're able to bring the scope of the work back down, then we can always be under that amount. So I never wanna underestimate it and then it become more because then we end up absorbing that cost. So really what I end up doing is you set a high mark and try to be underneath that every time.
Now, okay, Van Buren Street, that's not the one that goes by Parish Electric, is it? Is that Parish Electric Street?
Yes.
So it's almost to, 100
It's
north,
almost
isn't
to
it?
100 north. Yep.
Right.
there
That's not
actually
that
is
big a structure, really.
It is not. It's, when you're doing the federal aid process, there is a number of certain minimum elements that you have. If I can get the grant for it, I don't have my phone here. The way these end up balancing out, saving us money in the long term is we end up spending 20 cents on the dollar of some of these
Yeah.
projects. So, let's say it's a $2 million project, it'll end up costing us out of pocket $400,000.
That structure.
I can't build the bridge for $400,000, even with
Yeah.
local funds
Yeah,
at
okay.
a reduced scope.
Yeah,
It'd still be a $700,000
yeah,
to
well, an 80,
$800,000
yeah, if it weren't
project
for the 80,
locally.
I'd be dragging my feet on it, but.
I know, I understand. But when we're laying these out, certainly I want to try to make sure that we're doing the best we can with it.
Yeah.
It is additional expense. It's certainly more costly as a total project. But the way the programs are, it's one of the ways to save us money locally as far as what comes out of our local taxpayers' pocket.
Well, I move that we go ahead and approve the preliminary engineering, for Bridge 93. That's what you're looking for, right?
Correct, yep. You're gonna approve the signatures on this agreement with, Engineering Resources. Yep.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Doug, seconded by Stan. Motion passes.
Thank you. Next item is just kind of an update on the community crossings matching grant. I have applications on those two projects that have been brought up before council last week. My plan is to have those submitted here this week, or actually today. Brad and I reviewed the applications. We're comfortable that they meet what the state is asking for, so I'm gonna submit those. They are due by the end of this month, so by the 31st. So, and then I don't know when we'll hear back as far as what their approvals may be. It may be quick, hopefully before Thanksgiving, but I would like to see it at least before the end of the year so we can get projects up for bid if they are awarded. Update for you on Bridge 105. Plans were advertised last Friday. There's another advertisement will go out this Friday. Bidders are starting to already access the plans, and I've had emails asking about where to get those plans. So
Good.
I'm gonna probably give it another week or two, and then I'm gonna start pushing on contractors to make sure that they're looking at our project and getting us bids on that project. And then lastly, just an update for you on Bridge 66. That's the one on County Road 300 North between 1 and 200 West. I sent a notice out to schools and to the dispatch about that one. GD Excavating is planning to start work on that approach rework on Thursday of this week. So that will close that structure for about 7 days. They're gonna tear the approach out in an additional 5 feet, so there'll be a 10-foot approach on that to address the movement on that approach slab as well as the slope. So there's quite a bump when you're going eastbound on that structure, because after they asphalted it, something happened to the base stone underneath it. There's no suckles, there's no sinkholes underneath it. There's nothing with the bridge. It's a short approach that was moving. I think you'd maybe seen videos of how that was actually moving before. We cut that, but it's still quite a bump. So we're gonna go ahead and get that torn out. So it'll be closed for about 7 days. So Thursday to Thursday, starting next week, thankfully with fall break, it's only gonna impact schools for hopefully only 3 or 4 days. So, but just an update for you on that, but notices have gone out for everybody that would be impacted from dispatch in schools. So
I have to find a different way to Lowe's.
yeah, you absolutely will you'll need to cut around. Once you go on 2 West, then you're free and clear. Local traffic will have access. It's just gonna be through traffic, won't be able to make it for that week.
Gotcha.
Do you need any action on item 2?
Nope, that was just an update for that. That's already been approved for a previous meeting.
Okay.
So the grant applications for that are already okay. So other than that, any questions for me?
No, I don't.
All right. Thank you very much, and I'll get the signature paperwork after the meeting.
Thanks, Nate.
000 and Buren, just and South 100.
How's Brad?
Another beautiful day we have. Wow.
Yeah, that's
Twice
right.
there.
The rain didn't quite amount to much, but that's all right.
Yeah,
I mean, it finally feels like fall at least.
yeah, yeah. Nice day, nice rain.
Yep. One more after you're done with those. Brad, go right ahead. We're just signing stuff.
No, you're fine. That's absolutely fine. Good morning. I just have a couple things this morning. The first one is a permit for Heartland REMC on County Road 550 West between Winchester Road and 1100 North.
Just one.
They are going to move a pole 47 feet north.
I
That's
think
it.
there's just one signature.
Heartland
There's
REMC,
one.
is that?
I don't think there's.
I'm
another.
not-
Yeah,
I
it's-
guess I-
They have some service up in that corner.
Okay,
I'm not sure where they're based out of.
okay.
Yeah. That's not one of them that we hear of very often.
Yeah, it's just,
Yeah.
but they do provide local service up in that area.
Yep.
Move that we approve permit that Brad's requesting.
Second. Motion by Doug, second by Stan. That motion passes.
And then I only have other couple things. Every year we do our annual bid. We bid on, get a stone bid, from all the different quarries and all that, them different things. And with your basically permission, we would like to advertise that and then we will be planning on opening them December 9th. So that way, I mean, we give this a little bit extra time just because it's a lot to get around.
Okay.
So
Is that anything that fluctuates very much?
just whatever their prices are every year. Basically, for this, the nice thing with this is, once they lock this in, or we lock this in at the beginning of the year, that's what our price is gonna be for the whole year, unless something drastic.
Right, but I mean, as far as a trend or looking back year to year, like are stone prices going up, going down,
Yeah.
staying the same?
They're going up,
Are they?
yeah.
That's the
Unfortunately,
one consistent part to it.
I can't remember exactly last year, but last year wasn't as drastic as I thought it might be. I think it was like our more common stone, like 73s, 53s. I think it was only like a quarter a ton. So like 25 cents a ton, so not bad. The other thing to remember too, like, well, with some of our companies, we use so much, they give us a pretty good price. Or a better price, I should
Wonder
say.
how many ton of stone we go through a year.
Well, I know, and just chip and seal, 10,000 ton.
10,000 ton.
And so that's, not our spring
Wow.
stoning or anything like that. And that's actually, I used to know that number in my head, but
You got,
I'll have to.
each
look at
township
it.
has kind of an allocation of what
Yes.
they use on it.
Yeah, basically we give them an allocation per mile of road for their township. And granted, if they come in and say, I need more, we'd rather them put more on, but we like for them to ask us so we know. Cause certain sections of road do get more use. So,
Is Blue Creek stone harder than Lynn Grove?
no.
No.
We've asked that question too, and our sales representative has had the stone tested. And they said, no, it's the same hardness, and they'll compare it to other surrounding
Quarries.
quarries too. And it's all very comparable. So. It's just good old Indiana limestone.
Yeah, and it gets ground down.
Yeah.
No vehicles grind it down.
So
To
you
dust.
we need a motion to, allow you to bid for that.
So
Correct.
move.
Second.
Motion stands second. Motion passes.
And then the other one's just kind of informational. You gentlemen have given us permission to get the truck body built, the dump bed and all that. I don't know that we gave you a date. November 4th is when we would like to open them. Open them, read them aloud, then, a week later.
Take under
Take them under advisement. But that's just informational, because I don't think we gave you a date on that, so.
Okay, good deal.
Other than that, gearing up for fall and winter. Our plan is to have everybody done mowing by next week. Give them that last week, if you wanna go hit some things again, some main roads, maybe just touch them up. But other than that, we should be done mowing. And, relatively soon here, I'd say within the in a month, hope to start dirt burning.
Okay.
So,
You don't have a mower in every township, do you?
no, they take 3 townships.
Okay,
It's like the top 3 and the 2 middle 3. So we have one in each of those.
Gotcha.
3 for a total of 4.
Yeah, it's a workout for those mowers.
It is. It really is. And it's
How long, just out of curiosity, how many years do you get out of a
mower.
regular bush hog mower?
So.
Can you get 3 to 4 years out
Yeah,
of
when
them?
I first started, the previous administration had it in the works to get a new one. So the very first year I started, we got a new one.
Yeah,
And we actually just replaced that, beginning of this year. So 4 years.
yeah, that sounds reasonable.
Yeah,
That's pretty good, really,
yeah.
for the amount of miles you're covering.
bearings just go out, or what's the,
They have gearboxes on them.
oh, the gearbox?
So yeah, the gearboxes will go out. Basically what happens is underneath where the blades and that are, that stuff all gets so worn.
Oh.
Yeah, and the decks get beat up. We start welding on the decks and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you
That's
get 4
that's a
years,
rough
that's-
life out
yeah.
there for
It's
those
a rough
things.
life. You don't want to
Yes,
buy
it
that
is.
used.
No.
The, you guys can imagine the stuff inside ditches.
Worst thing you can do
Yeah.
on a mower is try and mow a side ditch.
Yeah. So, yep, so that's all I got.
Very good. Brad.
Thanks, Brad.
Yep.
Oh, I don't see Rick
Hey,
here.
Brad, you wanna just take this for Nate?
Okay, that's what I was.
Tom, what have you got for us this morning?
My software company and support group, it's their annual agreement and they send it to me and it's actually requiring your guys' signature. So I'd just like to have approval to continue on with the software company and
I
support.
forget, do you use, no, you don't use Xsoft, do you? Or do you?
No, that's assessor, auditor and treasurer. I use CSI and Docs Pop. I sent this to Mark and Clayton for their review, just in case you guys wanted. Make sure everything was up and up.
Pricing on that, has pricing changed or?
It went up a little, not much. It's still cheaper than the other company that I would have.
Let me see a contract real quick. I'm sure, I think Clayton looked at that, but I want to check the auto provisions.
What's that company called,
CSI.
CSI? Do you have the price on that, what the number might be, the amount of money?
Not right here. But yes, it's, with both of them, the annual agreement, it's under 20,000.
All right, okay.
Eric, that's
Yeah.
CSI Decatur.
On these, you got a 90-day notice to not renew, so you just, those are things you always have to remember. So like if halfway through the year, you decide you want to
Plan on
do something else, they gotta be notified by,
And it
September.
auto renews annually or?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, at least it's just a 1 year, but it'll auto renew if you don't terminate 90 days prior.
Very good. So we need a motion to continue with that software.
So moved.
Second.
And Doug? Motion passes.
Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Tom. Moving on, Mark, what have you got for us?
I don't have a whole lot, other than, did you, happen to talk to Flemington about demo specs?
I did. What did he tell me? Good question. I did talk to him. He said that he didn't feel like there would need to be anything very specific. Said depending upon the ultimate use you want would determine how much cover topsoil you would require. If it was just like for building lots or something like that, it may only require 4 inches of topsoil, but if you wanted it to be converted back to agriculture land, it may require more topsoil, so that would probably need to be in the specs that we would use. And then I asked him about if he felt like that there would be a lot of interest in a project like that. He said he felt like that that he would be interested and that there would be others that would be interested in bidding on that. And what we're talking about for the press, what we're talking about is ultimately if we determine that the county home is excess and that Golden Meadows is excess, that we really don't have use for it, that we might just contract to have it demolished and convert that ground back to some other use, and then we could probably sell that ground. So
How big is
that's,
the acreage out there? What is the size of that acreage?
Is it 11 acres?
I think it's 11 or
11
12-ish acres, yeah.
Something like that.
We just, and I suppose, guys, that ultimately we're gonna need to, some kind of an official action to declare that building excess and no longer useful so that we can put some specs together to demolish it.
I
That
think
probably
we,
needs
yeah,
to
I
be
think
an
we,
action.
whatever action we need, I think we need to move forward. I mean,
if
otherwise
it-
we just marking time with the,
Well, it's just continuing to deteriorate, look bad, it's becoming an eyesore out
Right.
there and Stan
So would
thoughts.
he think of grinding it up?
Would he think of grinding it up? I think he probably would, yes. But, that's maybe what we do is ask Mark or Clayton to write us up some bid specs so that we can approve those bid specs and put it out to bid. Mark,
guess
and
if,
as far as, what you just said about the
declaring it
amount of
excess.
topsoil.
Oh, topsoil.
Yeah, I think I'd like to see it written up, to put the topsoil for agricultural use.
well, and I
That would-
think it would almost have to go deeper than that, because like even if it was for residential use, I mean, say if you're gonna build anything, a house, a barn, or whatever, you're digging footers, you're digging sewer.
Well, he was just talking about topsoil, not, I think you would
I
have.
mean, you have to take the concrete down.
Yes, you have to get, well, I would have to remove, I think, all the structure there.
Yeah,
Either grind it and bury it. Question is, how deep do you bury it? Maybe, I don't know.
Or he may haul it off, so.
Well,
Yeah, haul it off, yeah.
from what I understand, if you grind it, it turns into useful stone. And I don't know if that's what he does out there on 900, if he grinds it out there.
Would that be the first thing, what we're asking Mark to consider doing is writing up specifications for demolition of the building.
Would we need some kind of an official action to declare that building is no longer an asset and and can be destroyed?
I would probably do that in the form of some resolution, yeah.
What do we need, when we're doing this, do we need to include the leach bed too with the building? I mean,
Well, then there's,
that would be a simple
then there's
demolition
the
there.
barn out there
Well,
Yeah,
and the tower and.
definitely the septic tank would need to be crushed and filled,
right.
but the actual field itself.
It feels to me like we would need to write the specs such that we would take the whole plot of land and whatever structures or man-made entities there, that it either be removed or that it be, somehow we've got to capture all of that, not just the building itself,
Yeah,
but the
right.
leach bed and the barn and
Right.
the tower and whatnot. I'm assuming we don't use that tower out there anymore. Is that tower at the county home?
I think it was strictly to get the network to the county home. I
Okay,
don't think it's a repeat tower of any
Okay.
kind, but something we double check with Mike, but I don't think it is. It was strictly to get network access to the county home.
right.
It used to be used as a ham repeater.
That I don't know. I know that there's an antenna at the jail for ham, so I don't know if that's that Maybe was until the new jail was built.
Might be.
Are we gonna consider even offering it for sale as is?
The structure, that's what we have to
The
decide.
property, yeah.
That's what we have to decide, I think.
I mean, Mark, you think we should even just consider that or not necessarily?
That if you do that, then the next thing would be to write specifications as to what the buyer is going to be
Well,
doing.
you lose control at that point.
Yeah,
But I would assume then we would have to rely on building planning and zoning and BZA to control the use, as they do
Yeah.
today, but it would not be in the county's hands anymore.
you get that, whatever acreage it is cleaned up. You may be surprised about what bids might come out, probably more than what you think.
My fear is that somebody with less than adequate funds would have some kind of a vision of something they could do with it, and it would set and become an eyesore and become a blight on the community over a period of 5 or 10 years before they would lose it for tax sale or whatever.
Yeah.
That would be my fear, is that it would just become a blight on the community out there.
I think we ought to clean the property up and then sell that.
Well, what I think we found out in trying to find an appropriate use for it is that in order to bring it up to code, such that it could be a residential use or some kind of other use, is just cost prohibitive to bring it up to code. And once it can transition from our hands to somebody else's hands, it would have to be brought up to code. I just don't think it's financially viable as any kind of housing or any kind of residential facility.
Well, and in the purpose of writing specs, then, do you leave the barn there or don't you leave the barn there or whatever?
I think we destroy it all. I think we just get
You
it
know,
out of there, clean it up, have it look like a bare plot of ground that either could be farmed or it could be built on.
Yeah, or further.
Because if somebody
Further
bought
development.
it to farm, I mean, they may want the barn there. I mean, it's a very serviceable building.
But it's set.
Well, that's a
kinda
good point,
set-
Stan. Maybe
Set in the middle of, it's kind of setting in the
in the middle of the plot.
middle of the
Well,
property.
it is, but I mean, if somebody, say if we tear the building down and somebody buys it to build a home there,
Yeah.
that barn would be an asset.
Good point.
We'll
Maybe
drive
something
out
we have to
there.
Think about.
I'll drive out there again and take a look at everything. And
Yeah, you're right. That barn is serviceable. And
You got keys to it, Mark? I got keys. I can go out with you sometime.
yeah, let's do that. Go out and look at it.
good. Well,
Well,
Mark-
whatever we
Mark-
decide, I
Mark-
think we need to keep it on the front burner.
Mark, would you mind drafting a resolution that we can look at that would declare that building excess and
Yep.
and indicate that we're gonna begin the process of demolishing the building?
Yep.
Okay. Good question. Thank you. Anything else, Mark?
I don't think so. There was something else I can't remember now.
I think Shannon's gonna bring us
Are you up
travel
for-
policy to look at, so maybe we're thinking about that.
Are you up for old business?
Yeah, well, were you gonna reschedule a meeting with Tony? Bye.
That's gonna be next week.
Next week,
It is, okay.
yeah.
Like old business, like 800 North?
Oh, gosh, that is
Yeah.
old business.
Cause I know Clayton was working on updating the appraisals. And then and I think he even got it to the point of receiving those and sending out qualified offer letters to the property owners. But that's the last I heard.
Yeah, we did get the appraisals. And I know he's got those if those letters didn't go out, I think they're ready to go out, so. That's
Maybe
what
just bring us an update on that at the next meeting.
And
We oughta-
then, of course,
Do you
the
wanna
other-
just throw out, a tentative idea of space that would be needed for staging? If we get into this project of renovating this building, the spaces that would be needed for staging, and what I'm saying is on the east side of the property, Do we wanna shake the bush on possibly purchasing some
Maybe we
homes?
could talk about that a little bit.
Okay,
I think I think we just potentially would need to do that, but, and that may be a part of the discussion with Elevatus too.
with, yeah, next week.
And other old business, the Connie Teeple property on 220.
Yes, no, I've talked to Dan about that. I've talked to Brent Luganville about it, so.
Cause she had filed an appeal to stop the court order. I don't know where that's at.
Yeah, we finally got, order from them a week ago that that was dismissed.
So there's nothing at this point stopping us from going forward with that court order to demolish that property.
Yeah, and I've talked to Brent Luganville about that.
Okay, good deal. What else on your list, Stan? Keep going.
Back in 1922.
Yeah, I don't know that there's.
We have a lot of things that we get started.
Those are
Sometimes
just things that we hadn't been updated on for a while.
Good deal.
So
Good meeting.
as we move ahead with, focusing on using this building for, additional office space and Superior Court building, you know, we're gonna continue to look at, property itself, which like you said, we're meeting with, Dave Scholl next week and in any office relocations that may be an advantage to the project.
Sure. Good deal.
I don't know that there's anything else.
Anything else for Mark?
I did talk to a gentleman and we've talked about this before, who's interested in buying that excess ground that we've got there off of Winchester. And so
Yes.
he came in, I met with him a week ago, and just the way the power lines lay there and everything, kind of the access wise, I asked him, I said, well, what about, and I know we've got that
Swapping some property
Yeah,
there.
I know we've got that development plan.
We're talking about the property out off of Winchester Road there.
Yeah.
North
Winchester
Street. Just
Street.
Yeah, or Winchester Street that comes in right there at what used to be the railroad track. The
Oh.
railroad track used to cross there.
Yeah, and we've got, and so I got a hold of Miller Land Survey, and they did that sketch development plan. So they're supposed to send that to me and take a look at that, because that's that north track's about 25 acres. And, you know, if you come in off of Winchester and
We're talking
put in a
about,
cul-de-sac,
just so happens we got land right here.
And who
We're
are you
talking
talking
about
to?
extending Village Green Drive.
Oh, I've got
here,
his name.
So
It's
you would have direct access.
he's got a
to here,
business that
right off
does
of Village
outdoor.
Green Drive.
Yeah, it's not.
And
And
we,
so he's
we don't own
interested
that
in the whole
property,
northeast
but
part of the
so we've
property.
talked about swapping
Just a
some
couple
of
acres.
this
Oh,
for
I
some of
see.
this.
Oh, that
So that's
triangle
what,
part,
that's what Mark's talking about.
probably a couple acres. Yeah.
have access to it other than the jail drive.
And the idea there is to be able to extend Village Green Drive direct versus having to make a jog or something
Right.
into an entry that we did at.
Right. Yeah, so this is,
Coming off.
yeah.
You're talking about coming
Oh,
off
was this Miller sketch?
It
Yeah.
is.
Oh, okay, good.
It is.
I need that.
I'll send that to you. I just had it up
I'll
a
make
few
a
minutes ago.
I'll make a couple copies of that. Cause I think here we've got, you know, this here,
Right.
it would be to come up here and then put a cul-de-sac and then hit back over to Village Green, see?
Yeah,
And then you'd have some commercial lots possibly up here.
right.
But see, you own this too, this big triangle. He owns that and you guys own this. And I said, well, what if we came off of here and then just sold you a couple acres right here? You know, and then we could sell him this too, and you could use that for display frontage. We can see there's power lines through here, so you can't build underneath those power lines.
Okay.
But you can back, if this is commercial and this, you can build back here. And this whole area, you know, could be, you know, of a commercial nature.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of been, the initial discussion is that that's more likely to be commercial than it is residential along in there.
You know, and then now if the county still wanted to, you know, do something with governmental buildings, I mean, you still got a lot of acreage out here. You're not hurting on acreage.
Yeah.
I'll make a couple more copies of that. But anyway,
You
that's
want me to
the,
just send that to you electronically?
yeah, sure. Well. Come on. Wake up.
Okay, we done with Mark? Shannon, what have you got for us?
So the first thing that I have is that last week I sent you an updated travel and expense reimbursement policy. This was updated in an attempt to address some of the limits that are in here. Obviously, we all know that things are getting expensive every day. So this kind of takes that into consideration, but still gives staff that travel the option of traveling as, benefits the county the best. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention, get your thoughts on it.
You guys get a chance to look at that.
I need to look at it.
One of the additional things that does is takes out that little comment in there about that,
This is what you emailed earlier,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, it was yesterday.
yeah.
Talks about overnight stays within 75 miles of the courthouse, or it eliminates
right.
that overnight stays within 75 miles of the courthouse for called meetings. And
Just
it also
cleans it up a little bit.
It also discourages out-of-state travel.
Okay.
So make sure you read that, because that was some language that I threw in there. Make sure you guys are comfortable with that.
And Clayton did look over it, and he put his unofficial seal of approval on it.
Mark, I'm gonna send you two emails from Brett. One is a clean version of that, and the other one is the one with the kind of his thinking about potential development.
Okay.
My internet's running really slow here, so
Yeah, mine has been too. I don't know.
should get the right thing pulled up here. It's taking a while.
I always thought that was interesting, that airline costs and rental cars have to be pre-approved by the chairman of the commission.
Yeah.
But I suppose that's for the sake of expediency, to where if somebody wants to schedule a conference, they can just go through one person and say, yep, good.
And hey, if you guys think that should be, it would not bother me a bit if we decided that needed to be approved by the full commissioners. that's the way it
I don't
seems like
know
it's
that-
always been.
I mean, no, I think it's kind of always worked okay that way.
I'm okay with
Just
it
call
either
one
way.
person.
I don't have any problem with the way it's written. Cleans up some question, it cleans up
Yeah,
some
cleans
areas
up a
that.
little bit of
were
that
questionable a bit.
language that was a little muddy there.
Yeah, do we need to address any previous issues on that or not?
I mean, I don't think we,
It's done is done.
I think that covers us going forward.
So the copy that I brought is the copy that I'd like you to sign, as long as you intend to approve it. So you're welcome to hold on to that.
So we just need a motion to that effect, guys, if you're comfortable
Stan, are
with
you
that.
comfortable with that?
Yeah,
okay?
so moved.
Yeah, I'll second the motion,
Okay,
so
so that motion
you sign,
passes.
sign the one that you have right there.
Thank you both for working on that.
So that takes effect,
Today.
Hey, Steve, no more Florida trip.
I don't do that on the county's nickel, so
Just joking.
we're all good.
25,000.
Man, if I could have snuck in some commissioner business in Ireland, I'd have been.
So the other thing that I
Two
have
sheets here, I don't know what that bottom.
for you is, you guys know that Jody was here last week and she discussed the renewal for our stop loss. So she did receive the firm renewal, last week at the end of the week. So I sent you guys that to look over. So the good news was that it came down a bit from where she originally, thought that it was gonna be. Some of the lasers went up, but the overall expected actually decreased. So I am prepared to have you guys, I'm prepared to ask you guys to sign off on the renewal with Ardelis, which is our stop loss carrier for 2026. It's the same company. We are not gonna be changing organizations or anything, as long as you're comfortable with that. Do you have any questions on this?
Approximately what was the increase in the total cost to Ardelis, the contract increase?
You mean like their premium?
Yeah, just kind of for the record.
It went from 812,000 to 840,000.
Did the stop loss go up? We went, did the stop loss higher now and
No, the.
still
Yeah,
55?
the deductible's the same. Yep, still the 55. And she did illustrate 75 for me, but even with the premium savings, the total expected cost went up by $100,000.
Okay,
So we didn't think that that was the best route to go.
well, if you're looking for a motion
I
to
am.
approve this, I move that we, take the recommendation that Shannon got before us on changes with the,
I'll second that. And
insurance program.
just to know, we're holding, employee contributions the same as they have.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. It
So
will be
that-
the same for
That motion
2026.
passes, Angie. So that increase is about 3.4%.
And if you can just sign in this middle column for me, please. Thank you.
We're absorbing that increase by not raising the employee, then I think the employees really
Yeah.
appreciate that.
I do too.
Just one signature.
I think
on
so.
that? Okay.
And that is gonna be highlighted in my total reward statement at the end of the year, that we
Okay.
haven't increased it since 2016.
Good
So,
deal.
The other thing that I have, I also mentioned, in my email with this same proposal, is that a couple months ago, we discussed the possibility of moving our PBM from CVS to Northwind. They originally told us it was gonna cost, Allied originally told us it was gonna cost $6,000 to integrate Northwind into their system. But after doing the research, Allied has come back and said that it's actually gonna cost $15,000. So that's significantly more, obviously, than what they originally told us. I'm not thrilled with Allied's response and how they've handled this whole ask. But unfortunately, they are the most cost-effective TPA that we have looked at or quoted. So we still have the option, obviously, of moving to Northwind, but they're only able to cover half of that because they're a small organization. They're not huge.
Did we shop Allied for other TPAs this year?
We did, yep. So the Allied cost, with Northwind is 68,000. Without, it's 62,000, and the quotes that we got were 90 to 100,000 for the year.
I'd say that's substantial.
Yeah, it's kind of on principle. I would like to fire him, but I don't think I have that much principle.
And Jody and I have talked about it at length, and I agree with her that even if there was zero change to the actual costs in our pharmacy, I still believe that moving to Northwind is the right answer because of the transparency that they're able to offer us, and it's more of a partnership and less of a CVS dictatorship.
Yeah.
I don't believe that we're getting all the information that we could be getting from CVS, and Northwind is able to offer that to us, but they are still able to offer us the savings as well.
So does Allied have ties to CVS? Is that kind of why?
I believe so. I don't know if that's the right opinion, but I believe they do.
I believe they get some kind of financial reimbursement or reward
Yes, I do.
for that relationship.
Yep.
And they would lose that
Correct.
financial reimbursement.
Yes,
And that's what they're trying to be compensated for.
correct. Which is, I don't think that the 15,000 even touches that, but they're just trying to make it harder for us.
And this would be their first relationship with Northwind.
And I don't know if it's just because it hasn't come up with any other plan, or if every other plan that's attempted it has shot it down. I obviously why.
Well, maybe in the future, that relationship will soften with CVS and strengthen with Northwind. And maybe next year will be more of an advantage for us.
So at this point, you're not recommending we make that change, or you're waiting?
I still think that it's to the benefit of the plan to move to Northwind with our PDM, but you guys are gonna have to decide, A, if you believe it's a benefit, and B, if you're willing to absorb that $7,500 fee from Allied.
So Northwind was gonna pick up the full bill, but now that it's doubled, Northwind will only pick up half of it.
So has.
Would that bill be every year we're with Allied, or is this a one-time, one and done?
One-time
So we wouldn't
implementation fee.
see that then next year if we stayed with Allied and with Northwind.
Correct.
We wouldn't see that $15,000 or even 7,500 of that.
So the 15,000 is a one-time implementation fee, but the additional 6,000 in administrative costs with Allied, because we're not using a preferred PBM with them, which is CVS, is permanent. So we would always see the additional $6,000 in additional costs with them if we stayed with Northwind. But if we went back to CVS, it would go
And
down.
is Northwind willing to reimburse that?
That wasn't a conversation we
Okay, I'm
had.
sorry. We were just talking about the
Yeah,
upfront.
and reason being is because Allied didn't tell us until last week and a half ago, that they were gonna cost more on the administrative side if we went with Northwind. So it was like a double doozy. So we haven't even had that conversation with Northwind.
Sounds like maybe we need to have that
How will
conversation.
it affect the employee one way or another?
It's actually not going to affect the employee in terms of, access. They're not gonna have any more or less access because, again, we dictate the formulary and we dictate what is covered and what's not covered.
They still could use CVS though.
Correct, yeah. So CVS Caremark is a pharmacy benefit manager, but it's also a pharmacy.
Gotcha.
So you can still use CVS with Caremark.
Doug, I interrupted you. I'm sorry. What were you
No,
gonna
I
ask?
just, the Northwind, I just want to make sure everyone feels comfortable if we've not dealt with those people before.
Yeah, and we haven't. I have spoken to a county up north that has used them for 3 or 4 years now. And she has nothing but good things to say. She was
Okay.
similar to us. They're self-funded. They're about the same size as us. They work with PHB out of Fort Wayne as their TPA instead of Allied, which is one of the organizations that we quoted. They worked with CVS. They had all the same reasons, cost, transparency, et cetera. And she said her only regret is that she didn't do it sooner.
Yeah. Well, competition keeps everything healthy.
So in the end, it may be to our advantage just to bite the bullet, pay the $7,500, move to Northwind.
Well, is that what, I mean, are you looking for us to make a decision on this today?
If you are comfortable making the decision, you're welcome to, but if you're not, we can continue to discuss it.
I would like you to go back to Northwind, explain to them the additional 6,000 per year, that they've doubled that, make sure they understand that. Tell them we're really struggling with justifying that. Ask them if there's anything else they can do, and then bring us back what that answer is.
Okay. Then I will do
You
it.
okay with, you guys okay with
Yeah, I mean,
that?
that sounds like a plan.
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Two things.
Rick's here and.
Oh, thanks, Doug. Rick, what have you got for us?
Here at the complex, our boilers, our panel that controls the boilers has went out.
And that's the panel we've been talking about replacing anyway? No, different panel, huh?
Yeah, it's a different one.
Okay.
The panel that we've been talking about will run the whole function.
Right.
This panel was installed in 94.
Okay.
So that's the life of it. I got a price. The panel, I believe, was about $3,100. Probably with labor and that estimated between 5 and 6. So that can be they can probably get it in the Dilling group is who I went through with this. They can probably have it tomorrow, probably late afternoon and then install it on Thursday. Right now, as it stands, we have 8 boilers. There's 4 of them that are running, which will be suffice. But it's just kind of wired to run.
Yeah.
Passing that, so we do have heat. But I wanted to,
Is there long term, knowing that we're gonna be in this building for a long time and those boilers are old? Is this a control system that would work if we said,
Yes.
we wanna go through and we wanna replace all the half that are the oldest boilers and
Yep.
latest state of the art, and it would work if we went to a new climate management system
yes.
and got rid of the
It's a Honeywell.
Able system?
Yes.
Okay.
You got,
It'll all
you have
work.
funds in your budget, or would we
I
go to
do.
Cume Courthouse?
No, I should be able to pay for this.
Well, for that being said, I see no reason not to proceed.
Seems like it makes sense to me, Stan.
Yeah.
Okay, was
I
that
make a
motion, Doug?
Stan's making a
Okay,
motion.
Stan's
I'll
motion,
second
Doug
it.
second.
I
approve
wanted to
that.
run this by you too. I've been talking about the sewer line, the one over here down the thing. What I did is I got with the city to see about using some of their resources. There's 2 cleanouts on the east side. There's a tree there on top of it. I met last week with Vern Andrews and the city. They are willing to come and take the tree down and dig that up for us. And then what I wanna do is, what we're gonna do is we're gonna clean that whole black galvanized pipe out.
Mhm.
And then I'll put a Y in there, so it'll be more accessible. And down the road, possibly, if we need to sleeve it, it should be already cleaned out, be able to do that.
So would the time to sleeve that be right after you clean it out, ideally?
They think it would last while I asked that,
Okay.
you know, and I said, maybe a year, 2 years.
Okay.
I mean, they don't really know, but I would think that it would.
Okay, good.
With that being said, when you locate something, and what I know, and Brad and I probably know, but you got about a 2-week window, so next week I'm gonna call. I'd like to do this on Veterans Day.
Okay.
Which is a Tuesday when nobody's here.
Okay.
Now, it may get dug that Friday,
Mhm.
and it'll be barricaded off over there. And then it's done, get it all fixed up.
Good. Good deal. Sounds like a plan to me.
And I'll try to get a price for that. I haven't got that yet, as far as from Bird.
Right. But you said the city's willing to take the tree down and open it up and dig it up for us.
Yes,
Wow, good.
we couldn't do a lot of things without them.
I know, we have a good partnership with City of Decatur, no doubt about that.
For right now, that's all I have.
Okay. Anything else?
I don't have anything for Rick.
Did you get that thing put on the generator that notifies you when it's running and when it's not?
Yeah. I'm waiting, so I don't have to have another service call. That's all wired in and everything. You've got to come here and program it, so I'm gonna wait till I get the oil changed
Oh,
and throw it all in at once.
oh,
There's some things you can see, but yes, it is, but it isn't. Cause if I have them come just to do that, then I got them coming here, I think it's next month. When it's due to get it, so I'm just gonna throw it.
Good. Good deal. Very good. Thanks, Rick.
Yep.
Okay. Anything else? Anybody else out here? Anything else for the good of the cause?
Sheriff does.
Oh, Sheriff, come on up.
Just real quick, 2 small projects. The ADA pad on the public side of our parking lot has deteriorated underneath the employee side. I replaced last year, so KBL is gonna come in and.
Talking about the
little
pad,
bump.
the little bumpy
Yeah.
things that you walk over.
Yeah, underneath,
I didn't know they wore out.
underneath the concrete, cause it traps moisture in the salt and it just breaks it down to sand almost. And then it pops up and it's slip trip fall hazards. We did the employee side last year and he's coming probably maybe even end of this week or next week to do that.
Just have them run over there while they're at Bank of Bern. They're working at. Bank of Bern.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's why it's not happening soon. That's taking precedence. And then the sidewalk along the employee side where it ends, I'm gonna continue that down around the building to the dumpsters. So our janitorial staff have a way to get there, because now they're having to walk out and around. So I'm just extending the sidewalk around.
Good deal.
And then on the confinement gutter, on the back side of the jail, there's a 6-8 inch gutter and it's been leaking. And you can visually see it dropped and split. Had CMS Roofing come in, gave me 3 options. They can dry it out, caulk it, leave it as is. I said, well, that's not gonna solve anything. They can try and take that off, rehang what is there, or they can take it all off, get all brand new, redo the cover, do it the correct way. It's about $1,200 more. So I chose option 3. It's in my budget. I just want to let you guys know. So that back gutter on the double story is being replaced, and that'll happen still this season sometime.
Good.
So, but it was leaking and it's coming down, and you could see it. And it's like, where? And then you look up and you can actually see somehow it split and dropped down. So that was always going to hold water.
How is your, I haven't been out there for a while, actually, I was, but I didn't look at it. How's your yard, fertilization, spray for weeds? Is it, you satisfied with the way things look? This is the time of the year that we should be thinking about that.
It's improving with the water. The biggest issue I'm having with the water is the well water is so full of iron. And you go out there, you'll see some things are orange, and Fisters has been coming out cleaning it. They've changed stuff. Well, now I've gone with our plumbing partners with Hattersley, and they're actually putting an iron filter out there. If you look back by the control panel, there's some more equipment out there. And what they put in, and right now this is just a trial. They're not charging anything. They're just trying to fix it. And it's too small, so they're gonna put a larger one out there that can hold the water, because it's improved it, but over time, you'll still
Isn't that
see
city
orange.
water?
No, I had to put a well in, so I'm not paying city water prices. Because that would have been an extremely expensive water bill. So there's a well head that you can see right there by the employee parking lot. And that's a well and all it does is run the irrigation system.
Gotcha.
But it's improving, definitely. If I can get this iron issue straightened out.
The biggest problem you had out there was when they built the jail, you didn't have good topsoil back
Correct,
on it.
and it's just taking time with how we fertilize, it's breaking it down, it's getting better, because I can add more fertilizer now, because I have a water source. Because before we couldn't do, because it gets so dry, now it's watering, so they can apply fertilizer whenever we want to, so it is getting better.
Who does that? Who, is that Outdoor Concept?
Brett Grover out of Monroe,
Oh, okay.
local contractor. He does a very good job for us.
Good.
Just upgraded vegetation around our front sign. My staff actually, sergeants and jail commander, myself, we planted all new plants around the front sign. And we had Innovative Outdoor Concepts come in and do some grass stuff around the front door now. So it's looking better. But yeah, the grass is improving. And you can tell when you look at the front yard compared to the outside stuff that I don't treat, there's a substantial
Oh, I'm sure.
difference.
I bet.
Yeah.
There is.
Well, I'm
But-
sure your wife would well aware that you're capable of the landscape work now at home too.
Oh, that is my job at home. Yes, and that's why I'm picky about my landscape. But no, it's improving, but the orangeness, I'm getting very frustrated with it, but I see a little light at the tunnel with this iron filtration system that we're putting on the water. We just have to go bigger because the water it uses is just too small.
You're not dealing with the top-notch soil out there.
No, we're not, but we're getting there. We're getting there. But yeah, just the sidewalk, in case you see something, that's what's going on, and the ADA bed, and then the gutter's gonna get replaced. I'm hoping, if not this month, in early November, and we should be all good. Everything else is running and doing well.
Good deal.
If you need topsoil, talk to the highway when they burn the roads. That stuff is excellent.
It'd be a lot of that though.
Well,
Yeah.
you would be surprised
How much it
they
gets,
generate.
I bet.
But it is very
Good.
good stuff.
Good. Good
Even
deal.
better down the south part.
Probably is, yeah.
Anything else? Anything from the public? No Public, guys, anything else you need to
No.
think about?
No,
If
move we
not-
adjourn.
If not, okay.
Second.